distinguished guests, proud parents, and successful people all. Because I think here, everybody is interested in pushing back the frontiers of knowledge with facts, evidence, and data. And so I'm including all of us in the congratulations on what you've achieved, whether hosting, or organising, or supporting, I'm talking about you parents, or competing, or simply being here and enjoying themselves like me. Everybody here has a part to play in keeping science alive. And in an era of post-truth and alternative facts, where Facebook and Twitter sphere allow promulgation of news, whether it is or isn't, based on anything that's valid, in the blink of an eye, keeping science alive has never been more important. Through scientific research, new ideas will achieve validity and adoption as long as we keep promoting the rigour and benefits of what we do, as long as we keep challenging the norm and asking the questions. The alternative does not bear contemplating. And yet, some of you may know that last week, the Ivy League professors felt so moved by what is happening in their education system, in society in general, the young in particular, that they banded together to write an open letter to all those at university or contemplating coming into it. And the reason I have notes is so that you can tell me, you can believe me when I say, because I'm reading it, their main statement was, think for yourself. Well, I felt that writing that was necessary is a huge indictment on the education system. They go on to say that thinking for yourself means questioning dominant ideas even when others insist on their being treated as unquestionable. It means deciding what one believes not by conforming to fashionable opinions, but by taking the trouble to learn and honestly consider the strongest arguments to be advanced on both or all sides of the question, including arguments for positions that others revile and want to stigmatise, and against positions others seek to immunise from critical scrutiny. The central point of a college for which reads university education is to seek truth and to learn the skills and acquire the virtues necessary to be a lifelong truth seeker. Open-mindedness, critical thinking, and debate are essential to discovering the truth. Well, it was John Stuart Mills who said many decades ago, centuries actually, he was an economist. He talked about the tyranny of public opinion, and the modern day equivalent is social loafing, or going with the flow. In New Zealand we talk about tall poppies and knock them down. In India they talk about crabs in a bucket and stick them back. And in some of the Asian countries, other Asian countries, it's the nail sticking out that has to be hammered down. So people are increasingly resistant to standing out and questioning. And perhaps it's the fear of being considered odd or simply being rejected. But science doesn't do that. Science asks questions and challenges the norm. It asks why, and could there be a better way? It happens at the bench, in the field, in the river, and in the sea. It actually applies in the kitchen and in the office as well, because it isn't always chemistry, but it is always seeking to understand and find a better way. So imagine the postgraduate room. 3 Australasian scientists investigating photosynthesis during the 40s, and something seemed a bit strange. And 2 of them said, we better investigate this a bit more. And one of them said, no, it wasn't what our supervisor told us to do. We'll go on and we should continue doing what we were supposed to do. And 2 of them said, no, it doesn't balance. We need to investigate a bit more. That was Chuck Hatch and Roger Slack. The Hatch and Slack pathway. The 3rd one, you don't know his name. He didn't ask the questions. So whatever you do in the future, it will be better because you've embraced, you challengers, you've embraced this Eureka Award. You've experienced your own research and enjoyed the rewards, and tonight is just one part of the journey. Your next step may well involve university. And this is the place where you gain more knowledge, make more friends. One of my university colleagues has just been awarded one of the Distinguished Teacher Awards because of her commitment to what she's doing here. We've known each other since 1980. We crossed the stage at the same time with our PhDs. She made a dash in red. I think I was in black, I usually am. So, making the friends that you've made here that will continue for the rest of your life. And you'll experience a whole lot of new and challenging ideas if you're looking for them. You'll also be taught by people who have an influence on your future in more ways than just giving the knowledge, the skills and the concepts. Gallup Research, the international global research company, reports that the most productive and engaged people in the workforce, those who are leading at various levels, can trace their enthusiasm and achievement back to a university lecturer who took an interest in them and encouraged them to do better. Just think for a moment. Of course, it might have been a teacher, because not many people went to the university in the 60s. But for some of us, it was the university lecturer. And whether these leaders went to universities in the 60s, 70s, or this century, and no matter what the country was, all of them said there was a person who made a difference to my goals by encouraging me. For me, my doctorate in soil science, the results of which are still being used in the current emissions trading scheme, mostly because nobody else wants to investigate sheep dung in quite the detail that I did, was because of Keith Sires, Professor Keith Sires. He gave lectures in earth science in first year. I asked him questions. He tracked me through my degree and offered me a PhD in nutrient cycling as the next step from honours. But my involvement in the Royal Society activities, which included being on the Royal Society Council and judging science fairs and having research students from school coming in to do summer work, they got publications, they also had careers, was because of my first year physics lecturer in 1977. Standing there enthusiastically in his cream Fair Isle jumper with that brown knitting all around the neck, every lecture. Well, he turned into Professor Sir Paul Callaghan, FRS London and New Zealand, and a thoroughly nice bloke. I didn't know his future when I discussed matters of importance after lectures or during laboratories in the 70s. I just knew that he had ideas, and he was interested in the ideas of others. He wanted to help make a difference, and he did. These awards are testament to his legacy. There is educational research that says you should choose your papers by the professor, not necessarily by the subject. Now, I have to warn you, those of you who are planning university, that that's quite difficult in New Zealand because quite a lot of our degrees are fairly well set. But you can always take the time to get to know those lecturers. I know it's not the same as when I went through 40 years ago, but people are still pretty much the same, and they like bright students challenging them with ideas. So do the preparation, think of the questions in advance, and as you leave the lecture, say, that was a really great lecture. You really challenged my thinking. Or, how would it work if you did this instead? Because that's what lecturers really like in terms of engagement. Lecturers like keen students. And I look at this cohort and think, lucky, lucky first-year students having you in their class, first-year lecturers having you in their classes. And I'm sorry I won't be one of them. But I leave you with the words from the Ivy League professors. And this is actually for all of us. Don't be tyrannised by public opinion. Don't get trapped in that echo chamber. Whether you in the end reject or embrace a view, make sure you decide where you stand by critically assessing the arguments for the competing positions. These words apply to every aspect of life, not just science. So your achievements in the Eureka Awards, they're just the foundation for your next step of life. They give you a head start in every aspect. Congratulations to you that competed, and well done to your support network, because what we achieve in life is rarely achieved alone. We can all thank Professor Sir Paul Callaghan, and then look to the future with what you, all of you, are going to achieve. Congratulations.